This stopped being internet drama a long time ago. What people are reacting to now isn't one clip, one comment, or one bad moment. It's the feeling that something deeper is unfolding behind the scenes, and a child is stuck right in the middle of it. You can feel the shift in how people talk about Christian rock. The tone isn't playful anymore, it's not jokes or memes, it's concern. And that concern didn't come out of nowhere. It built up slowly, moment by moment, as the chaos stopped looking entertaining and started looking exhausting. When adults stay locked in emotional turbulence, the real damage doesn't always show up online first, it shows up at home. A big part of the discomfort comes from how much of her personal life has become content. Lives, podcasts, clips, arguments, breakdowns, explanations. Moments that most people would keep private are streamed in real time. When you blur the line between parenting and performance, people start asking hard questions. Not about personality, but about judgment. And once a child is involved, those questions hit differently. There have been moments that made viewers pause, not because they were dramatic, but because they felt careless. Small things that add up. Moments where awareness seemed missing. To many watching, it didn't look like a one-off mistake. It looked like someone overwhelmed, scattered, and not fully present. That's when the tone online shifted from a commentary to alarm. Then came the growing speculation around her son. And to be clear, no one online can diagnose anything. No one has medical authority here. But people aren't reacting to rumors alone, they're reacting to patterns, comparing visible behavior to what's typical for kids his age, asking why certain concerns are brushed aside instead of acknowledged. The frustration isn't about labels, it's about denial. When a parent refuses to even consider the possibility that something might need attention, it makes people worry more, not less. That worry gets amplified when people look back at the pregnancy timeline. Not because of gossip, but because so much of it was documented publicly. The partying, the drinking, the lifestyle. Those clips didn't come from tabloids. They came from her own posts. That's why critics feel this conversation can't just be waved away. When those moments are later treated like a flex instead of a chapter of growth or regret, it hits people wrong. If the tone was recovery, people would listen differently. But pride changes how it lands. At the same time, Blueface's return added another layer of tension. His energy around the situation felt different, quieter, uncomfortable, like someone trying to process everything without saying too much. His interviews didn't help. Reopening deeply personal decisions on a press run felt unnecessary to a lot of people. Instead of accountability, it came across as messy. Airing private conversations when a child is involved doesn't feel like growth. It feels like deflection. Then there's the family dynamic. The ongoing friction with Blueface's mother keeps resurfacing. Power struggles, control, loyalty. That hovering presence adds pressure to an already unstable situation. DNA test rumors coming back into the spotlight didn't calm anything down either. They just reminded people how unresolved everything still feels. When adults are locked in battles like this, the youngest person always pays the price. More and more, the focus has shifted almost entirely to the child. People aren't dissecting adults for entertainment anymore. They're watching his behavior, his stillness, his distance. Again, no claims, no diagnoses, just questions. Why does he seem so passive so often? Why does chaos seem to surround him constantly? Why are there so many environments that feel overstimulating, disorganized, or unsafe for someone that young? What makes it worse is how often authorities seem to get involved. Police calls, interventions, temporary removals, those aren't random. They create a record. And every time that happens, it reinforces the sense that this isn't just bad luck. It's a pattern where responsibility keeps getting shifted instead of owned. Some moments crossed a line for viewers, going live during deeply personal situations, turning emotional breakdowns into content, recording conversations instead of being present in them. It starts to feel like attention comes first and the child comes second. That's the part people can't shake. Now that the child is getting older, the stakes feel even higher. Simply surviving isn't the goal. Kids need stability, structure, patience, and adults who are focused on their needs, not their image. Many watching aren't convinced that's happening consistently, and that's why the criticism hasn't died down. It's grown louder. There's also frustration with how accountability is handled. Blame gets pushed outward. The internet, the haters, the negativity, but rarely inward. Rarely a pause to say, maybe something needs to change. Maybe more support is needed. Maybe this isn't about defending pride anymore. What makes this especially uncomfortable is that none of it feels malicious. It feels overwhelmed. It feels like two people who were never prepared for this level of responsibility, now trying to figure it out publicly instead of privately. And children absorb more than adults realize. Even when they're quiet, even when they seem distant, energy matters. At the end of the day, people aren't reacting because they want drama. They're reacting because something doesn't feel right, and ignoring that feeling hasn't made it go away. If anything, it's made the concern sharper, louder, more urgent. The hope, more than anything, is that real help is happening behind closed doors. Professional support, stability, structure, the kind of care that doesn't need to be posted online to be real. Because no headline, no clip, and no argument matters more than a child's future. And until people see signs of that shifting, this conversation isn't going anywhere.